Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Atelier Nekuzuki stream. Thank you so much for joining. Ooh. Haha, let's mute myself on my computer so that we don't have to listen to a reverb like that. Okay, I'm just getting into the YouTube. Make sure that I can see the chat here. Alrighty. So, yes, I should be going and working on the Kato bags. No, I will not be doing that. We're going to actually work on getting all of these seamed, as well as a redo on one of the bags and another bag that needs a little bit of TLC because I had a stocking error. So it's an order that needs to go out, but we are rectifying it by making a new bag because I didn't have the other bag anymore. It happens occasionally, sometimes, like especially at shows where I'm selling stock in person, and then it's just like, oh, well, that is now no longer in stock. Anyway, what we're going to do is we are going to sew the Velcro onto the luggage handle thing here. Excuse me. And then we're going to actually sew together the dark version of all of these because, or at least the majority of the dark versions of these, because I've got the black thread in still, and that just seems like the right move. And then we will move on to the Kato bags tomorrow, which actually, now that I say that, is a better option anyway, because tomorrow I don't have the kids around and I'm able to come downstairs and just fully focus in on Kato bags. Right, I need to go in and order some more of those cat paw scissors. So they'll be here in time for the crochet retreat. And then stuff. I am also going to go through and cut a bunch more of the cake cozies here as well. And so that those are ready for the crochet retreat and Stampede breakfast in July. Also, hello for everyone joining. My name's Katie. This is the Atelier Nekuzuki live stream. I totally did just jump right into that, but I think I do need to start calling these like chaos content or something like that. My goodness, did I just jump into that? Anyway, I make products, so bags and accessories from hand-selected Japanese fabrics. I go over to Tokyo and Kyoto and select them there, specifically at Tomato in Nippori Textile Town, and also in oh my goodness, I totally blanked on the Kyoto shop, but it's Nomura Tailor in Kyoto. Anyway, if you've heard that spiel before, welcome back. I have a beer tonight because it felt appropriate. I know it's Thursday night, but whatever. It's like one of the glorious things about being self-employed some days is being able to have that beer mid-afternoon while you're working. I think I sewed the other piece of the Velcro on with white thread, but we're going to sew this piece of Velcro on with black thread, so buckle in. Also, I did not perform complete heresy in the top stitching of those mini travelers. I did get the mini traveler slings done. The preview of them is up on Instagram. They are not fully done. I need to do a couple more. Need to do like a tack down stitch for the back pocket. I also need to go in and do the actual finishing seam on the turning opening. So anyway, but it's been a productive day. The kids were decently chill, so they watched a lot of TV. That's okay. We got some outside time too. And I even washed my sheets, and they're already back on the bed, because I knew if I didn't put them back on the bed as soon as they were dry, I would be up at midnight with a screaming child waiting to get into the bed. Being like, why isn't the bed made? You just know that's how it would go. Okay. center that on that as best as possible. Turn it down to a construction length and go. This is the one issue with like my show season being so, ooh, okay, why'd you drop the thread? No, you didn't run out of bobbin thread. Weird. Okay. It's one grudge I have against the fact that like most of my shows or my busy season is summers. It's like, I just want to be staying outside right now. Actually, so that's what I'm going to do this weekend. I have one errand to run in Calgary on Sunday. But on Saturday, we're going to go outside and just stay outside as long as the kids will let me. And I am going to knit. Or maybe I'll take workout that I can work on outside. Like if I get a bunch of kato done tomorrow, I can run all of the leather cord, and I can actually, we'll get all these drawstrings prepped, and then I can wait. Yeah, I can take the bags out and install the drawstrings in them outside. That should work. There we go. Or not in. Okay, sorry, I got those two done mixed up. So the kato I can take outside and do the drawstrings in, and I can iron the other drawstrings so that they can be sewn on Monday. And then there's a bunch of cutting to do because I am going to do a restock on cake cozies before the crochet retreat. Which I know is like very off, like kind of seems like it's off plan, but it's not. It's super cute. Told you that that one was going to be amazing. The other nice thing is that it does have a really nice hand because it's a Dobby fabric, so it's got texture to it and makes it feel like sturdier than it technically actually is. It's a really thin fabric otherwise. Anyway, yeah, I was pulling scraps out from the scrap bin today to do the cake cozies. And I found the cat head template to make cat head pouches. So those won't be ready for the crochet retreat on the 22nd. But those will be ready for actually, they'll be ready for the Stampede breakfast, I think, with Ancient Arts Yarns. If you want to see the full list of events, I've got them. I just recently posted them on my Instagram. I don't understand. Probably need to change my needle. Except it's not like bird's nesting. I wonder if the hooks are like breaking the thread because it's Velcro. Not impossible. Anyway, cat head pouches will be available at Pancake Breakfast with Ancient Arts Yarns, and these mini travelers things will also be available for the Pancake Breakfast with Ancient Arts Yarns. I'm not going to say I'm going to have more before then, or that they're launching this week, mostly because I also have like limited space at the crochet retreat, so I'm like, we are going to focus in on the kato and like some stuff like that. Really, I should be so like doing kato and small box bags. Although reversible drawstring bags will also be good for the retreat, so I don't feel too bad about having taken the time for them. Also, inspiration struck to do them, so it's just like, all right, lean into that, get it done while you've got the like mental fortitude. Some days, as much as it's like the best intentions sort of things, right? It's like I just. Ugh. Oh yeah, and the new little, I don't know what I'm going to call them, but they look like stop signs when they're flat. But the new little square handle bag will also start being available. I don't know if that'll be Pancake Breakfast or if that will end up being Knit City Calgary. Knit City Calgary is August. Okay, let's just do a verbal rundown. So the crochet retreat is open to the public in the afternoon. All the details are through Crafty Anna Marie. Or ELA Creative, And then the Ancient Arts Yarns Stampede Pancake Breakfast, which I think is like 10 to 4. Or 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., something like that. Those details are on the Ancient Arts Yarns like Instagram page. And then Omatsuri, which is August 10th. I don't remember the hours there either. It's something like 9 to 4, 9 to 5. Pretty normal show hours. And then Knit City will be August 16th or 17th and 18th for the market. And they're starting to post their vendor lists. So make sure to grab your tickets if you want to join us there. And then I do have Shindig on the list in the fall, in October. And what else am I doing? I don't know. There's a few other opportunities coming up that like I don't have pinned down yet. I am actually putting an application in for one of the big Christmas shows in Edmonton this year, which is why the big push on like getting the studio organized and stuff was because I was like, oh, they want a picture of me in my studio. My studio is not picture worthy right now, or at least it wasn't like a month ago. It is good now. We're good to go. All right, so in this case, like this one will definitely be stitched in black. And then that's light, so we'll do white for it, I guess. I don't know. Pandas can get black stitching because high, and so can the polar bears. This one's just too light, but the interior needs it. Okay, so there are some very clear ones that like I will not be doing dark stitching for. That's definitely dark. It could be dark. Oh, most of these might be black. Okay, never mind. And that one's definitely white. That can be black. That can be black. 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 White. Black. White. Black. White. Black. White. Black. 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 I think this is pretty white. And then not all of, a lot of these are just going to be like the interior stitches, so I'm not as worried about it. A lot of these will end up being finished with white, so more than is actually getting stitched together with black right now, because basically we're going to go in and we're just going to stitch the two pieces together that we've just cut apart. It's one of the most redundant things about sewing is you cut it apart to like, oh, that one is, that one was not even when I cut it in half. Okay, well, we're gonna set that one aside. Get out of here. What I figured out that I could make from that yesterday that I got super excited about when I was cutting. Oh, right, that can become, the Sweets Party could become the front for the mini travelers, actually. That's what it could become if I really want to, so. All right, so now these basically are going to get stitched together, and then I'm going to go in and match them up a little bit better. That obviously was a little bit too much of a difference. Not much I can do about like an inch in width difference on one piece. Okay, something is up. What is going on with this popping? Okay. Go and rewind it, and then we'll pop it back in and see. So I've been on a roll with my knitting projects. I finished 2 pairs of socks. Granted, one was a pair of shorty socks, but whatever, I'll take the win. And then the other was a pair of what I would consider normal height socks for me. And then I picked up Lily Pilly, which is a pattern by Ambo O'Brien that I've like had on the needles for, I think, close to 6 years or more. Maybe even 7. And so I'm working on that. I had to pick out the lace fully because it was like, I couldn't tell where I was in the repeat. I was so annoyed that I couldn't figure out, and just like, oh, that's why, because the upper thread is actually wrapped around the tension knob. Okay, that should fix the problems, or at least mitigate issues. Anyway, so yeah, so I had to pick out the lace, and then when I went to stitch it, I must have missed like the increase or decrease or something like that, because then it was still messed up and I had to unpick it again. I was so annoyed. But looks like 4th time's the charm now. Everything's lining up so far, so we'll hope for the best that it's just a nice smooth knit. The lace is not difficult. Granted, all lace is not difficult. It's just keeping track of the repeats. So okay. I thought that was a child calling for me, but no, we're good. Also, I feel a little bit like I've been lied to about like appliances making work easier for women. Dishwashers 100%. I hate hand washing dishes. But I definitely dried my sheets for our bed outside faster than they would have ever dried in the dryer. And I didn't even do anything fancy. I just basically draped them over our like banister on our deck. It's like, okay, what would have taken like 2 to 3 hours, because everything keeps getting balled up in the dryer, took like, I think it was out there for like an hour to hour and a half max. And then, like I said, I totally gave myself a pat on the back because I did put the sheets on already. Because I was like, if I don't do this before I go downstairs, I am going to come up to a bed with a toddler screaming at me that they want to be in the bed, and the bed will not be ready. So I did make sure I made the bed before I came downstairs. I also like aired out our comforter and everything like that because I just washed the sheets. I think tomorrow I'll tackle the comforters. Mostly because that's like, because it's a king bed, the washing machine will only really take one comforter, and we have like a blanket and 2 comforters. So actually I should have washed the blanket today because that is one that would have gone well with the sheets, but oh well, whatever. Now, the drawbacks to doing that in Cochrane is a lot of the time we are so windy. Our top sheet definitely blew off. Just onto our grass, but still, it's like, it can be so windy in Cochrane that it just is like, whoosh, and gone. But not today, that's part of why I did it. Yeah. And like the sun is such a good natural bleaching agent and everything like that, so if there's any bed bugs or any gross termites or anything in our, not termites, dust mites, that's what I was going for. In our like blankets, they're gone now. So. Plus it's not completely gone, but whatever was irritating my whole like nasal sinus system, it seems to have been resolved or something. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. I can mostly breathe again. Don't have a hacking cough every 3 minutes exactly. I say as I need to cough, but it's definitely improved compared to yesterday. So that's nice. I like improvements. And yes, I know I should totally be working on Kato, but I'm not. They are under the desk. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I will definitely get them to them tomorrow when I'm just like full on, full brain capacity and all of that, because these are like just super straightforward. And granted, these, we're going to go through these so fast that I'll probably also be working on Kato tonight. Oh, you guys are just ready to sew. Okay. Sweet. What else do I need to do tomorrow? Tomorrow is another short run because I'm in the bridging program between the 2 half marathons. So like yesterday's run was like, go run 1 kilometer. It's like, all right. One of the hardest runs that I've like had to get myself out on recently, mostly because it's just motivation. I know. It's like, hey, you're going to go spend like 9 to 9.5 minutes outside running. I don't know why that was one of the hardest ones to get myself out on in recent memory, but like I can understand when I'm like, oh, I don't want to go run 10, 11, 12 miles. That's because that's nearly a half marathon in training. It's like, yeah, that makes total sense. But like 1K, which works out to like 3/4 of a mile, drag that ass out of that Jeep. It's just like, oh my God, ridiculous. So a lot of these are getting made from the cuts that I would have made for like wedge bags, and so small wedge bags and small box bags. And they just never ended up getting made into those, or like I lost the handle for them, or circumstances. A lot of them I over inundated my market with, and so they just didn't sell or whatever. There's a bunch of things. You are also... Okay, but we're going to sew you down anyway. And then the brown one. Oh no, the brown one does need to be put together. That's right. I remember that. So yeah, so we're going to go through and like, these end up now becoming reversible drawstring bags. Just something that I've had kind of on the list for a while. I made a small batch of them for Fiverr Shindig, and then I ran out of time to do it for any of the other events in April, because if you've been watching for a while, you know April was an absolute just like crapshoot nearly. Especially between the fact that it was like, we were really sick actually for the first, week? But anyway. Not really sick, just like recovering from being sick in March, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I can't even remember. It's all a blur. It's like, oh my God. I don't know how any of us survived that month. Day House or Natsumi just posted a bunch of new products on her Instagram, and I'm like, oh boy, I am in trouble. So, just so you know, we're all in trouble, because if I buy stuff from her, I am enabling everyone on the stream into her stuff as well. You've been forewarned. Although I have a feeling if you're here watching, you know what you're looking for. I will do a better show off of the sling bag tomorrow as well, by the way. Just, it's on the mannequin over here, and I don't feel like getting up right now. But it did come together super cute. So now, oh, that ran out of bobbin thread, like 2/3 of the way through. Excellent. Yeah, one of the sides, so this is basically, like as I mentioned before, it's a reversible drawstring bag. I'll go in and there'll be a bit of a trim down so that the exterior sticks out of the interior, or the interior sticks out of the exterior. And then make sure that like all the side seams are matching or comparable, and then it's basically just a bunch of ironing work to get it all to line up to actually make the drawstring bag. So it's like very little actual knitting or sewing. Knitting. Apparently I've got knitting on the brain. Saturday will definitely be an outside knitting day. Actually, we'll go for a walk and then we'll go into the backyard. Find out if one of my friends is down for like, and by Saturday I mean this Saturday, not next Saturday. Next Saturday is the retreat, so I'll be working, which is going to be fun. Yeah, that thought was going to go somewhere else, but now I have forgotten, and that's okay. Got some roosters here to go with the Polar Bear Cafe print. This one definitely needs to be lint rolled. Oh yeah, I will make sure that like side edges match up fairly well and all that. Blah 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 blah. All the things. There's actually a new one of the Polar Bear Cafe prints out in Kyoto now, and I was eyeing it up the other day when I was still going to be going in November. I'm like, man, I want it. This has been like, I still actually have quite a bit of this fabric, but every time I bring it out, it's usually pretty popular, so I just had a lot of it to work through to begin with. Excuse me. It's been, well, Tuesday night was a rough night, and then this morning was just like a really early wake-up call. So that's why I was like, honestly, just going straight on these stitches is probably for the best for all of us. And then I think after this I have a couple of, like 3 cake cozies that just need hems done. Have some canvas bottoms to put on tote bags. Just all nice, straightforward, straight stitching. And if you're like, Katie, anything to avoid those kato bags? Yes, tonight, anything to avoid those kato bags. And it's all steps forward. Sorry, I'm just trying to fuss with this because apparently the edges on this aren't matched up either. All right, well, we'll go from this side. And I don't know, I think the news has reached pretty far, but Calgary has a water main break. Like, the main feeder line, especially for the north. And apparently, and this makes sense because, well, it doesn't make sense, but they are probably rushing. But 1 or 2 guys got injured last night. It's like, so that's delayed the project. And it's just like, oh no. It sucks. I hope the guy's okay. I haven't read anything more than beyond the like headlines that there's workers injured last night.
Basically with these, the rule of thumb, because then I didn't fall into like analysis paralysis, was just if it looks comparable or is kind of same themed, it goes together. So the red Scotties go with the red parasols because color matching. That's actually how I decided that combo. Nothing very scientific. Just, those are both similar reds. Okay, so the sweets party for that one with the white lace is for the brown sakura. Okay. So I don't really want to stitch that with black thread because you would see it through that fabric quite easily. All right. Polar bears and pandas are next. I promise I did actually iron these today. Not that you can really tell. By the way, if you do have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm happy to answer or have my monologues directed, because otherwise it's just me rambling along here, making up whatever kind of nonsense I can think of. It's only 9:20. It's not even 9:30, and I'm like, oh, I am fading hard tonight. All right, well, we'll definitely get all this done. And we'll at least get the new bases on the tote bag, the big bag, and the top stitching done on those. The one I can only do that much work anyway, simply because it's like, I need to pair it up with a lining and webbing handle still, so. All right, there is all of those stitched together now. So what'll happen is I'll take them back into the cutting studio, we'll trim them all up, and then I will iron them into the shapes that they need to be, because as I mentioned before, that's basically what this is. You just kind of put them together with ironing basically, which is pretty awesome. That'll probably happen later this week because I don't feel like moving into that room right now, or probably tomorrow either. And I should be working on the kato, so you know. Priorities. I sometimes have them straight. Not always. Also, if you are able to get it and you are a beer fan, this Okami Kasu, which is from a local brewery in Calgary, is really good. It's Japanese ale. It's basically beer mixed with, let's see, the sake kasu, which is the leftover rice from sake production. And this is the thing that's like the closest to Asahi Super Dry that you can get like in Japan, at least that I've tasted in Canada. And probably a little bit more probably even more delicious. Yeah, even more I don't know what the word for it is. All right, let's make sure. Yes, good. So basically this was a bag that I had finished, and then it got swapped out for another bag that someone was like, I would like this with a black canvas bottom if we can get it. I said, of course, exchanged it. Basically, that's what started this whole thing of putting the black canvas bottoms on the tote bags, or on the big bags. And then someone else was like, do you still have this available? And I'm like, well, I still have the tote bag available. I can swap out the base. And far too many months later, I am now just finally doing it. I don't know why I procrastinated on it so much. Well, again, crazy April. Apparently a month and a half to like recover. I don't know. I guess I was working in there, but still. Anyway, it's getting done. Finally. It's gonna look really good too, because I have done this one before and it looked absolutely spectacular, and that's why I was convinced to actually do the canvas bottoms. So here we are once again. Okay, and I was like, wait, please be on construction length, and it is. When I talk about construction length, I mean the stitch length on my machine, because basically I use construction length in between construction length and top stitch, when it's still kind of like a top stitch, but it's also a little bit of construction. And then it's the other one that I use, top stitch. So when I'm talking about construction length, it's putting stuff together length. Yeah, that already looks really good. Okay. Try and get this. I didn't want to like unpick the seam too much, because like the bag was finished. So I was like, let's just pick this out as much as I require to actually get this done, and then we'll deal with it later. I don't know why I put the canvas on the bottom. My machine is always cranky. Well, it's like the feed dogs mark up the canvas, but I guess it really doesn't matter because it's on the interior of the bag. You won't see it. It's not actually damaging the fabric either. It's just leaving like feed dog track marks, because the feed dogs like grab onto the fabric to pull it through. So, all right, there we go. And actually, I didn't do too bad that time. All right, and then I did have a momentary panic of like, how am I going to like press this, because it has to be top stitched. Not press it, but like top stitch it. But because it's open and this is further out, it's fine. It's fine. Right, that's why I usually do a little bit heavier of a goodness. Okay. So it really wants to flip that way, but we are going to fight it and get it so that the canvas goes down. And if you're like, Katie, could you use an iron 100%? I could use an iron, but that would require me getting up for it. So we're just going to finger press it. And actually take the seam roller, which I did finally find in my tidy up. And I did also find my snap press die that I was like missing. It was in the flippin' laundry basket in the room. So now I still haven't found my like card reader from Shopify. Like I went to charge it for my pop-up event on last Saturday on the 8th. I like went to bed being like, I need to charge it in the morning, and like that'll be enough. I don't expect it to be too busy, blah 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 blah. And then could not find it. Like, where did it go? The last place I had it was Dawson. I know that I packed it up from Dawson. Can I find it? No. I don't get it. I don't know where it could have gone, because like usually I tuck it into the cash drawer, or I tuck it into like the middle console of the truck or something like that, because that's usually what I'm driving to and from. Well, at least the big events like Dawson. I can't for the life of me find it. So I did order one. Granted, I haven't looked much since Saturday, but the thing is it's going to show up at like the weirdest time. So I ordered another one just to have a backup, because honestly, it's not a bad idea to have a backup anyway, in case of situations like this. So, yeah. It could be like tucked in something and I won't find it till Knit City. That's probably what's going to happen, realistically. Why do you keep breaking? Or pulling out of the needle? Bah. Well, there's one side done. Now we'll press this side over, and then this will run back underneath. Actually, we're going to run this underneath with the black thread because most of the stitching that I need to do is actually on the black canvas. Then I can do the wedge, and then we'll do the turning of this one. And then we'll finish the interior with white thread when I swap back to it. Whenever that happens. There we go. And if you're wondering if an iron would maybe lead to an easier or more professional result, maybe. But finger pressing works too. Or seam rolling like this. I think the seam roller is actually intended to like open up seams, but this is how we use it. This is how I use it. Yeah, no. Kind of an obscure little product that's like, unless you're in the sewing studio or like, yeah, sewist, it's very unlikely that you run across it. At least for this sort of thing. You might have run across like a larger version, like if you use a Cricut or like as a roller for paint and stuff like that. But the small version I think is pretty niche to the sewing community. But I don't know, if you use it in another project, if you're watching it now, throw it in the chat, or if you're watching later, let me know in the comments, because I am saying that, but I'm definitely talking out my ass. I have no clue. Because I also listed off 3 other uses of the larger version, cousin of it, within what, like 30 seconds. So who knows? Whee! All right, there's the base in. So get the base in, get it stitched down. And then we will trim the wedge, sew the wedge, and then we'll go in and we'll turn the bag. Alrighty, pretty, let's do this. Yes, we are back to construction length. That's what I was doing before I started here. I am going to work it out a little bit because honestly that was a very wide seam allowance compared to what I normally like on these. Oh, I guess it would help to actually sew the bottom. Oh well, whatever. Can you tell I haven't sewed a tote bag for a little bit? And I promise it's not the beer. Just being in other bag mode for too long. And basically the seam allowance is so wide on the top there because there is selvages. And we don't want to sew the selvages in. I try to avoid, well, okay, I cut the selvages in, but I try to avoid like sewing the selvages into the bags in a public manner or visible manner. There we go. They have definitely snuck in on a couple projects though, and they look really cool. So I'm like, okay, it's not the worst thing if it happens. It's just kind of annoying because I do try to avoid them. Hello, why are you cranky now? I swear, black thread in this machine is always super cranky. I don't know if it's like, typically darker dyes take up more room. So I don't know if it's like, just that it's like darker dye and so it takes up more room in the bobbin or what. But I swear, every single time I put black thread in, it's like, meh. I'm gonna be cranky pants. Didn't I say? Wonder if the pencil will work. A pink pencil? Oh, that works just as well as a chalk pen. Actually, maybe even better. Okay, well that was a good discovery. Maybe not as good as a chalk pen, but it works pretty damn good. Especially in a pinch when it's like, I don't feel like getting up. I just want to sew the things. So. I don't want to get up. In the least. Zip. zip. Then we'll go down. Okay, shears. All right, I put the shears away because the kids were trying to use them for stuff earlier. I was like, please don't. Those will cut you. And then I'll have to deal with that. Of like, yeah. Manitoba. I can't go to Manitoba. It's on the weekend of the Canmore race in Canmore in September. Okay. Trim the wedge. Wedge, 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 wedge. And that goes into the amigurumi stuffing box for my friend. And now I don't have to pick it up off the floor. I can just like dump it into get out of the house container. Okay, and the zipper is open. Good. Okay. So we'll sew this and then we will turn it and then we'll move on to the base of the Halloween tote as well. Make sure everything's out of the way. Always make sure to extra adhere or extra stitch the seams here because they are a point of stress, so I figure they probably helps. This is going to be fun, and I am saying this sarcastically in some ways, but it is going to be a learning curve. I just realized to be using the fusible interfacing on the interiors of these tote bags. Oh no. I didn't even think about that until just now because this is still sewing interfacing. Oh, this might suck a bit. Oh well. Cat problems. That's the first time that you've heard this term. It's basically problems that are super inconsequential and really don't impact anyone but myself. Well, I guess interfacing impacts my customers in some ways, but honestly in a good way, not a bad way. I guess I could actually like turn this out on the sewing desk so you can see what I'm doing instead of being off camera. Wow, it's like super overexposing. I guess that makes sense when it's just like this big block of black, but that's funny. This is a new webcam, so I'm still like working around it. Anyway, cat problems are inconsequential to anyone but myself. What inspired me saying cat problems is a children's illustrated book by Jory John. The cat, the one that specifically always jumps into my brain as an example for this is that the cat sits at their bowl and cries for food. And so they get dry food. And then they're like, I asked for wet food, not dry food, wet food. And so that is a cat problem. That's the sort of problems I'm talking about. Sweet. There it is. Super cute. So like I said, this was the one that inspired the whole shift in my tote bag making to adding these bottoms. It looks really good. Yeah, that's the right height and everything. It's very like, it really looks really good with this little black cat and the camellias. So what'll happen now is I've got to just reclose the turning edge inside the bag. But like I said, it's white fabric on the interior, so we'll do it with white thread. Okay, you are all sewn. You just need, one of those needs a lot, or the hem. This guy needs, so this was the one, she ordered a small box bag in the Have Fun Eat Junk Halloween fabric, but there was a stock issue, as I mentioned. I still had this available in a tote cut. So now we're just going to go in and make it as a tote bag. And then again, this will be something that I finish tomorrow because I've got to find the a lining piece for it in the tote box that's in there. And we need to cut, I need to cut webbing as well. I'm thinking this will go with the purple webbing. It'll look super cute. So So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to stitch the two together, and then I am going to top stitch the panels, and then that's it for this one. And then we'll go in and we'll finish that last cake cozy that was just here. It just needs a hem. And we'll do elastic for them today, tomorrow, I don't know, some point here soon. And I guess we'll be moving on to kata for a little bit. I don't even know where I'm at with a lot of these ones anymore, but probably still a good move to get at least a few of them prepped and ready to go. Right, I wonder if I could get that by then too. I don't need It's a Small World stuck in my head. I really don't need it stuck in my head tonight. Okay, now we will turn this, and then basically we'll finger press the seam allowance down. And yes, I could actually do it this way as well, but I find that the framing, if the seam allowance is towards the canvas, is way nicer than if the seam allowance was like to the, okay, so this is what it looks like with it folded up towards the Japanese exterior, and then you go in and you fold it here, and it just, I don't know, having the bump of canvas just makes it look nicer. Also, I would have to top stitch on the Halloween bit if I folded it up, and no. You're not top stitching the Japanese fabric in this case, so not when I can top stitch the canvas. Okay, nice big stitch length for the top stitching. So this top stitching is both decorative and functional. I totally did not backstitch that, but that's okay because we're going to go in and stitch over it. I will backstitch it on this end. Anyway, so basically what it's doing is it's holding the seam allowance down so it's not flapping in the bag when I'm like, yeah, at all other times in its lifetime. There we go. That. And we'll take this other one and do the same thing. And why I'm not using the seam roller, or yeah, I don't know why I'm not using the seam roller. Very seductive. It's like absolutely silent. Concentration is high tonight. The concentration is high, the chaos can still be just as much, but sometimes not. Okay, we're going to just start it like that, and then I will move it as we go. Okay. Yay. I just realized we're literally 2 months away from Knit City. Just now. I better be done sewing for Knit City in 2 months at least. I won't be. This is the issue with the events being like in my backyard mostly this year, is that like I am typically a last minute person, but it has been really bad this year. And I'm like, damn it. At least with like Knit City Vancouver, It's like, well, I got to be done by like Wednesday because we'll be driving out on Thursday, blah, 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 blah. Hell, sometimes I've had to be done on like Tuesday, or at least like done the sewing bits and everything like that. Calgary, it's like, nope, sew until like at earliest. The wrap-up time is like Thursday night at midnight or later. Friday morning at 3 a.m. Actually, I haven't been able to pull 3 a.m. yet. So, and I don't think I can right now. Like, I am suffering after one night of being up till like 1. But, yeah, it's been bad. Let's just go with it's been bad. Because it has been. It's like terrible. All right, so this is the one that wasn't hemmed, so we'll go in and hem this guy in the theme of wrapping up on some whips. And it's like, Katie, Kato. Yeah, I know. Next. They're next, don't worry. Just realized I'm going to need probably a new elastic bodkin because I think the kids got a hold. I definitely had 2 again, but the kids did get hold of 1 for sure. So, oh right, I need a tag for the other side here. Okay. The nice thing about cake cozies though is at least they're like so easy to chain piece, like a serger, sewing machine, everything. They're super easy to just like go on and go hog on to like wrap up and get a product finished quickly. The biggest thing that sucks up time is honestly cutting them, like finding the scraps that will work, and then yeah. And these were born out of the need to actually use up scraps and like offcuts from the knot bags. Now I am currently prototyping another size because I've had a request for like worsted weight cake cozies. So watch for those probably in July at the earliest, if not Knit City. Which honestly for me is quite a rapid turnaround time, but just as a forewarning. Although, yeah, because I'm going to get one to the requester next weekend at the crochet retreat. They'll test it out and then we'll make some tweaks and then I can put it into production. It's not a big difference. It's just like a larger piece of fabric. It's exact same construction. So that one is done. Now it just needs some elastic and some finish up and then it'll be ready to go. And yes, these 2 were made, but they are cotton linen blend and I'm actually no longer making them in cotton linen blends because they're really dense, especially once you like gather up all that fabric on top. So we're sticking to the cotton, the quilt cottons after these ones get done. Alrighty, I guess we can no longer avoid the box of Kato. Sounds like some sort of fantasy novel. Okay, I am going to move the majority of the drawstring bags back onto the cutting table here. I guess, yeah, or not the cutting table, but the side desk, I guess, would be the best description of this now. I also have a bunch of box bag handles to convert into bookmarks, but we'll do that later because they actually take quite a bit of work because most of them are like, so they get sewn and then turned and top stitched. So the majority of them are top stitched, and honestly, it is a pain in the butt to pick them apart. But I don't want to like, oh. I've been putting twill tape in the top of them to like be a little like hang on piece, so that way I have to cut it. But I just realized that maybe I don't need to do it that way. I could probably, to be honest, Just finish them with bias tape. Actually, I wonder if I could finish them with bias tape with like a little loop of bias tape, because that would be pretty cute, to be honest. Okay, so we've got a whole Drono box of Kato that are like ridiculously close to being done. Like these were the ones that basically didn't meet, that got culled before, whatchamacallit, Dawson. And then there is actually a bunch of nearly done products in the bin underneath it as well. Like grime guards. And more of these drawstring bags. What else is in here? I know I just packed it, but like I have no clue. There's a big bag that needs to be finished and a thing that we could continue for coasters. Oh, and those things. It would actually be good to go in and try to do those. Maybe not this week, but whatever. Okay, but the big one is going to be this box right here that's like right in front of the camera. Blocking your view of everything else, you know. Being super impolite like that. Alright, we're going to clip that a little bit further down because I have been knocking into that all night so far. Okay, so I think these all have... Okay, so we're at the step where the interiors have been sewn, the exteriors have been sewn, and it is mostly assembly time. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to clip all of them. Right? Sure. Maybe. Who knows? These are the ones that I've got like drawstrings for in here right now. Although I think a lot of the drawstrings did end up getting dropped into the box so that they didn't wander off too far. So, okay. I know that those are separate. That one is somewhere in there. It's like, do I have the drawstring for this bag that I just pulled out? That's like sitting in front of me. I have the one for its cousin, but I do not have the one for it. Lovely. All right. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we are going to match up with what I have here. And we'll also match up the excess D-rings that I have. Apparently this one does not have its drawstring channel in there. I think it might be in the Drono though. So if we're going in and actually like doing a matchup, it should help. I don't know. That's my theory. As I fail with the second bag as well. What the heck is going on? And the third bag, because I know that that's not in here either. Okay, so some of these must be further down in the box. I wonder if because they are light... No, because there's light ones in here. What is going on? Okay. Bunnies. I can't have lost all of the drawstring channel, or all the drawstring channels. Oh no, they're just underneath all of this. Ugh. Okay, now our butterflies here. 'Cause they look like they would be in this pile. No. Florals are not there. I saw that. Florals. I'm pretty sure these strawberries needed a, I need to find the drawstrings for it. These strawberries have their stuff. Okay, good. Right there. I think the red strawberries, didn't they actually need me to sew new ones, I think? I can't remember. And then did this also have, yeah, okay, because they've already got their D-rings sewn in. Okay, so yeah, so some of these haven't been sewn yet because they still have their D-rings here. Ugh. Chaos. Chaos, I tell you. Okay, they still don't have their drawstrings either. You don't have drawstring. You don't have a drawstring. You don't have a drawstring. I swear I saw those florals the other day, so hopefully I wasn't just making that up. I know for sure we cut all of these because I was very diligent about that in April, last month. It's already June. Ugh. How is it already June? Like, we're over halfway through the month or year already. Promise I'm not going to have an existential crisis. I don't think. Okay, that one's ready to go. This one is ready to go, but I think, yeah, I need to restitch down the side because it's got like a massive amount of selvage showing. Dear, your selvage is showing. Okay. These have not been sewn yet because they still have their D-rings with them. D-rings, D-rings. So where the actual F are all the bags, drawstrings? Like, seriously. Like, a lot of these make sense. I know that they didn't get finished because we ran out of time, but where did the drawstrings go? Okay, well. There's one of the bags that's not finished yet. And then what was up with the... There's something going on with the Sakura bag, and I can't remember what it was either. But I do remember us setting it aside. That's nearly done, but not a Kato, so I don't know what's on top. Ha! Okay, I do win, at least at the guess of, like, the majority of these are underneath. Because they are! Thank F. I would have been so pissed. Okay. Still slightly annoyed, but not pissed off. Okay, so there's sloths. Might as well trim their things in between. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stuff bags right now. Now, I guess the question becomes, do I just sit down and finish these, or do I sew together all these ones that we have these set aside for? I think I go through and I sew these first, because most of the interiors are done as well. They just basically need to be... Why aren't the exteriors done then? Because it's the interiors that are the like insane amount of work. Weird. Okay. What were you doing, Katie? Who knows, hey? Oh, that one's extremely close to being ready to go. It's like clipped and everything, so it will go here and we'll finish clipping it in a bit. Okay. The blue floral. Okay, so now the next question becomes is where are all the exteriors for these drawstrings that I have sitting here? Because I haven't found them yet. Because basically the difference between this and what I'm seeing in the box right now for like what's finished is that the the ones that I'm pulling out right now, I'm putting drawstrings in to stuff them with, is they have been wedged. Whereas the interiors in the box have not been wedged yet. Who knows? I don't know anymore. Obviously I don't know. No, and that one is missing still. Interesting. Okay, well there is, yeah, they're just in here chilling right now. Okay, cool. Okay, so pink strawberries is done. Red strawberries, I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I think actually I might have seen the drawstrings for it in the sewing studio the other day. Bunnies were in that pile, right? Yeah, I can see them there. Oh shoot, I definitely need to get the crochet ones done because we're going to that crochet retreat, which means I should dig through the small and large box bag bin and make sure that we get all of the crochet fabrics done. And if I don't have it, I should cut more of it. Because I think they've sold pretty good. I'm pretty sure there's a couple tote bags still in it, but it's like pretty picked over already. Mostly because it seems to be hard to find good crochet print fabrics. Okay. Bunnies. Itty bitty strawberries. on gray. Neon florals. Retro drinks, retro cafe drinks. And then butterflies. Oh, we were so close to having so many of these done, hey? Dones. So many of them done. Okay, so crochet needs to be done. Okay, so crochet and strawberries and large florals with pink are all still in progress because they need drawstrings. I have a lot. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought that these were sewn, but they're not. Okay. Sorry, I guess we're doing, it's more of a just an assessment of the current situation. Okay, that's pockets done on here. And that might need to be redone. Yes, it does. Apparently I caught it when I was doing the stitching. Is it solid? No. Okay. So we'll run that back under because it's black stitching. And that's the other piece for it. And then, okay, so I'm going to make a stack of all the beige with confetti that are sewn. That's white with confetti, so that's a different category. Okay, there is, there's more drawstring channels. Excellent. So there's the blue crochet granny squares and the large floral print ready, or close to, as close as we can be for right now. The florals, sweet. Okay, and then all of these drawstring channels that are on the desk right now that I'm like, where are these bags? They are in this bin. Okay, so we've got, okay, right, and then we've got stuff that doesn't even have pockets on it yet. Lovely, excellent, perfect. Okay, so there's a lot of sewing in there to do. Okay. Well, we can start by matching stuff up to itself, because if I can't sew it to itself, it can't get finished. All right, there's one pair ready. Two to get ready, three to get dinner. Okay, another set here. And then we'll go in and we will sew all the bags we can, or sew all the interiors, and then we'll match the interiors up to the exteriors. I'm really tempted to just go down to one lining color, like a white lining, because it would make the whole, then it would just be like pocket patterns, which usually are pretty straightforward and explanatory as well. But, you know. Okay. There's the bunnies. 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 Bunny, bunny, bunnies. Okay, there's the botanical circles. There's a bow to finish. There's crochet granny flower florals. Granny squares. Fish. Fans. Florals and phoenix. And snow globes and florals and purple, and the neon gray. Do I need to pull these all out of the box? Yes, actually. It's kind of like one of those situations of half like no, but yes. Okay. Highlighter florals on light gray. Highlighter florals are like pink florals on a charcoal. It's really gorgeous. Sloths with lemons. Still haven't decided if these are tiny sloths or giant lemons. It's like the sloths are actually hanging out with the lemons. It's like a sloth on a leaf. So it's like, are these like gigantic ass trees with gigantic fruit? Or are these itty bitty microscopic sloths? I can't tell. I think you should let me know what you think. Oh, okay. Oh, what happened here? Did you, oh, your handle didn't get stitched in. Okay. Well, you'll be easy to finish. There is actually a lining here that does not have pockets on it. Okay, cool. Granny florals in pinks and oranges. Highlighter pink on white with sand. And what else do we have? And then it's linings. Yay, linings. Okay, so those are all the exteriors to wrap up on. Status check-ins are important. Status check-ins are really important. Right? Right. Sure. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and there's 3 bags. Okay, there's the pockets that are supposed to go with that lining that's not finished, probably. More interiors. More interiors. Ding, ding. 2 more there. Okay. So much work. Alright, I'm glad that they all stayed together in this box because this is making this portion of like the check-in assessment so much easier for me. So had to explain the bin system that I had to Dallas, or as much of a bin system as it is right now, in that it was like, he's like, these are all scraps, and I'm like, no, I'm not drowning in scraps that bad. It was like, because it's like the 5 bins that are out in the sewing studio. Like, no, those are cuts, like full cuts that are intended to be something someday, at least. It's not perfect, but it's good. Better than I was better than I was in like a year ago. Okay, so looking at this, I think what we need to do is restitch the last of this like pocket again since it got pulled out. And then I think we should go in and actually, oh, and we'll stitch the other one because it's blue. And the blue looks better with like black top stitching. At least from what I can tell, because it's it would be a really stark contrast between the blue and the white. We have a significant number of interiors actually finished, which is awesome. Okay, there's one more. This is the one that needs to be restitched. All of these fabrics are in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw all these loose D-ring tabs into this bin, because for whatever reason having these all in this like bin has worked really well for this so far until they're at like this stage. I think mostly because it's collection point, so it's like if you have a D-ring and webbing, you are in here. Okay, and then so that's there, and then these are the like 50% dones, and then there's more 50% dones and 192% done one down there. And then the only one I didn't see drawstring for are these strawberries. I wonder if they're in here. Oh, they're already in there. Phew. Okay, good, because I want these strawberries. Good, and then the corgis are back here and apparently missed the train on getting stitched at all. All right. So I guess we'll get to those ones later. More D-ring tabs with D-rings. Go in there. You just need to restitch on the one piece. Okay. I'm going to sew these 2 sets of pockets. I'm going to redo the top stitching on this one, and we're going to sew that one. And then I'm going to reassess where my energy levels are at that point. Whether we go in and start doing, oh yeah, we'll also fix the Sheba so that things aren't in timeout too much this summer. I will pick up all these bags from the floor, don't worry. And I need to find the Sakura. I know that I pulled it for a good reason, but I cannot for the life of me remember why. I think it was related to its interior maybe or something. I don't know. Okay, let's start here. So why not? All right, interior, exterior done. Dusty. Why did I just get a big smells of dust? Whew. Okay, we're good on that side. Yeah, we're good on that side. No white poking through. The biggest thing about it is that it's like a very bright white against this olive tone. So it's like, okay, we gotta restitch that. There. Blend it into the original seam line so it's not like crazy. Insanely noticeable. Much better. Still needs a bit more. Just a little bit more. Not much. Right around the like D-ring tab holders. Ooh, I should make straps. Okay, I'm going to like, I have a whiteboard up here now, but it honestly, actually now looking at it, is in one of the worst places for a whiteboard to be. Okay. Ding ding. Ding dong. Witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the wicked witch. I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head. I think I've only actually ever watched The Wizard of Oz once. Maybe twice if I'm lucky. Ooh boy, that is not happy. Why? Okay, so this is telling me I probably need to change my, oh yeah. Bird's nest galore. Ahoy! What is going on? Probably time to change the needle. That's what that's telling me. Especially because it keeps popping the thread out from the needle. Okay, fine. Fine. We'll change the needle. It doesn't need to be, actually it does need to be that heavy because of the webbing. And then I need the screwdriver, which I don't know why I thought it was good to put it in the bucket back here. But apparently I did. I'll move it, I've got a little like stationary thing right here we'll move it into now. And honestly, I was expecting it to be cooler down in the basement, and it is not. Not like cooking, but definitely warmer than I was anticipating. Okay. So. Oh yeah, that's a dead needle. Alrighty, into the prescription bottle. We'll take the other needle out. Ow. Alright, and then I never remember to actually check this before I take the needle out. Goes that way. Someone was discussing the like sewing time on a needle. And I piped in and I'm like, ugh, yeah, every 8 hours you should change your needle sort of thing. And they're like, just remember it's 8 hours of sewing time, not like 8 hours of sitting. I'm like, no, I know. But yeah. For me right now, well, at that point it was like, that's like at least 3 times a week. Or daily, depending if I get to come downstairs when the kid and Dallas is at home to look after kiddos. All right, let's do this again. Hopefully the easiest solution was actually the solution. Probably should have reset the bobbin, but you know, we're good. We'll reset the bobbin now because it just broke the thread. And I think oh, no, it did not work. Okay. We have to reset the bobbin and reset the needle maybe. Ooh, gross, yeah. It's like all loose on top. Okay. So when I'm talking about bird nesting, it's like all this like excess thread on the back. It looks like birds' nests. And yeah, not fun. I hope I put my needle in the right direction. I think I did this time. If I continue to have issues, well, that's the next thing we'll change. Okay, reset everything. Ding, ding, ding. Ooh, tiniest tail. Okay. Trim off the extra thread. Excuse me. I was like, yay, I'm feeling better. And now the cough is back. Actually, water. That's the issue. One more time. And then we're going, and then if it fights me now, we're done for the night. And of course not. It's like this smooth as butter, so. Okay, there we go. Cousins, not twins. Sisters, not twins. It looks like someone went really heavy with the eyeliner. Okay. That one's done, and then we'll go in and, oh, you need to be top stitched. Oh my goodness gracious, Katie. You left past Katie. This is worse than the Lily Pilly in some ways. Because at least the Lily Pilly had like, I'm talking about one of the knitting projects I just picked back up from basically hibernation. I haven't knit it for 6, 7 years. So, of course, I could not, for the life of me, remember where I was in the lace chart. So I had to rip it out. Then I had to rip it out again because I messed something up. I don't know if it was like I missed a decrease or increase or what. Yeah, so I think this is like 4th time. So far, so good. Knock on wood. It's like I'm 10 rows in out of a 20-row repeat. So, and I've only got 9 more to go after this. It's also not hard lace. Although I would argue that most lace is not hard. It's just focal time and concentration. So I was trying to like knit it with kids running around me and like reset it with kids screaming at me. And I'm like, well, this is not going to work. We'll circle back to this later. Anyway, it's going to be a really nice shawl. It's a really nice sparkle yarn. I don't remember the dyer. I don't remember any of the details beyond the fact that I knew that it was the Lily Pilly. Because it's an amba pattern. It's been around for years. It was something I had already been wanting to knit for years by the time I actually got to it. And then I don't know why I set it down. I think I just got bored. And even at this point, I'm like, ugh, this is going to be a little bit of a slog. Although once I'm through this set of lace repeats, I think it'll go, because then it's just garter stripes, and then it's like half the amount of lace repeats on the end, basically. So I think it's going to just be a nice knit. Be really nice to have it actually for Knit City in August, so maybe that'll be one of the goals. I don't know. Doesn't need to be a goal. And realistically, I probably won't have that much knitting time this summer, so it can be a goal for next Knit City, and that's fine too. Because if there's one thing I have yet to strike with this work, it's a work-life balance. Because there is no work-life balance right now, since I am self-employed and stay-at-home mom. So, that's okay. That's not a gripe. That's just a reality. Like, this is why I'm not super like, oh, no, I won't be able to get it done. It's more of a like, hey, I'm better to set the bar low. If I get it done, awesome. If I don't, well, it's already sat for far too long. All right, one. Ha, ha, ha. I tried to put Frozen on today. Frozen is not my favorite Disney movie, but I was like, I need to listen to something else besides like Mika and Blippi. Unfortunately, kids, I'm sorry. Or Blaze. Those are like their two favorite TV shows right now. Well, and Gabby's Dollhouse. And actually, I don't mind Gabby's Dollhouse. I don't find her annoying or anything like that. Or at least I don't know why, but I'm able to tune them out better. Tune her out better. I don't know. So I was like, I'll try to put Frozen on because my eldest is like, princess. But no, they did not want to watch Frozen. They didn't even have a good reason why. It's just like, I just don't want to watch it. Which I guess is reason enough. But it was like, usually it's like, well, it's scary. And it's like, okay, well, that makes sense. I don't know. They were just like, I don't want to watch a princess movie. Okay, back to white thread it looks like, because the next thing that we need to do is sew all these interiors together. And then those exteriors, but we're not going to touch the exteriors until tomorrow. Maybe I'll just be able to whip through a bunch of them like tomorrow. That would be amazing if I could just get it done. Okay, am I going to continue pockets or should I go upstairs and go to bed? I think I just hit my wall and I should, the fact that I'm asking that question means I should go upstairs and go to bed. Okay, so we have reset the Kato and we're good to go and ready to go and raven to go tomorrow. As unenthusiastic as I sound right now, I am actually super excited to get going on this Kato. Because we also have a box full of Kato cuts in this cutting studio still. And they need to be sewn for Knit City as well. What'd we get done tonight? We got the redo of the cat bag mostly done, except for its turning seam needs to be sewn, which the white thread will help with. And then we got the Halloween bag started. And we got all those drawstring bags started as well. And we just did that sort of the actual whip bin. So all in all, and I finished the mini travelers this afternoon. Even with the kids being around. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so it's bedtime. Tomorrow, what we'll start with is we'll just actually dive right into the Kato bag and try and get as much work done as we can tomorrow while the kids are at school. And then tomorrow night will be the same thing, just like rolling along on that too. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a fantastic night. I will be back on tomorrow, so if you would like to have more of these like rambling monologues from me, you can subscribe to me. If you hit the bell icon, that'll tell you exactly when I come on live. And or you can follow me on Instagram, and that's where I always post a link to both YouTube and now Twitch as well, if you would like to join me again. So I hope you all have a fantastic night or day wherever you are in the world, and I'll chat with you all very soon. Bye.